Hello, hello, welcome everyone to the wonderful world of Facebook Live with me, Martin, the founder of Activate Breathwork. I've taken a little break for these videos for a while, been having a busy summer and wanted to come back today and share some thoughts, some insights, some realizations that I am having and going through. So the title of the video is talking about blocks and where we're on our journey. It could be in any part of our life when we're on a journey. There tends to be blocks and forks in the road and challenges, and these things come up no matter what we're doing. It could be in physical fitness, it can be in our spiritual journey, it can be in relationships, and there's lots of things within a journey where these blocks will come up. And what are these blocks? I'm going to talk about today. What are these blocks? Why do they occur? And then how can we get over them? How can we actually do something to get around them? So today, I haven't done these videos for some time. I've been having a little break because over this summer we did a retreat of our own, and we attended one other retreat, and we co-hosted a retreat. So after that, it took quite a lot of time to come back down again and sort of relax. So after that, I took some time off. But what I've found now since I've been coming back into it is that I find myself like with a bit of lethargy, and I'm not so motivated to do the things that I love to do, but I'm not feeling the energy to do them recently. I'm kind of happy just to sit at home and just be relaxed, and but there's not energy moving. There's not a flow. So I wanted to talk about these roadblocks and ceilings or plateaus or thresholds is what they're called. And as I say, in every single journey in our life, we're going to have these things. Everyone, you'll be able to look back on various journeys and see where you hit challenges, roadblocks, plateaus, or like a ceiling. And then you've seen that this actually was part of the journey. It was something that allowed you to grow more. So the reason that this video is black and white is another one of these things. So funny. So when I was starting to do this video today, the camera was doing all sorts of weird things. The picture wasn't right. So, and it ended up going black and white. And I just said, okay, I'm just going to leave it how it is. I'm going to do it. It was like, there was continuous things were popping up, kind of stopping me from doing it. And what I do on these videos is part of my journey, it's part of my work, it's part of my expression, and it's really good thing for me. But not for days, but definitely today, when each time I started to do this video, something would come up with the laptop or the camera or whatever. And these are all just little blocks to keep us in a safe space, to keep us from growing. And these are self-created, like everything else, and like I talk about, we create everything. We create our reality. All of the things that we like and all the things that we don't like, we are creating them. We may not be aware that we're creating them. We don't deliberately create negative things in our life, but nonetheless, we do create. So these little blocks that I was creating to stop me from coming on here to do this, why would I do that? Again, deliberately, I'm not going to do that. Again, when you're there's pain or suffering or something negative happening in your life, you're not deliberately creating that, but there are underlying circumstances, there are underlying thoughts and beliefs and patterns that do create that. So we have to look at why. And what I was given in a channeling a couple of days ago, because I've been asking for guidance, I've been asking for help for why I'm feeling just a little bit like can't really be bothered doing anything. And I was shown, so if you imagine a graph, so like a wave flow, I guess, or a graph that goes up and down. You never see something that goes just in a straight line always up or straight line always down. There's peaks and troughs, what they call, and then you have these kind of sideways movements. So what I was shown is that on any journey that we do, say it's a journey of awakening, or maybe it's physical exercise, if you've done that, you'll hit a peak where you can't beat this certain time, or you can't lift a certain weight. There's a ceiling, there's a point where you reach that threshold. So when we rise up to a certain point. Sometimes there'll be a falling back, and then we maybe a little sideways movement, and then another rise again. And what I was showing through this communication was that these sideways movements are building the roots. They're creating the roots for your next move upwards. So we feel like, so we have a movement upwards, we get to a point of real, everything's going really well, then we have a little drop, and we start to feel, sometimes we start to feel like, oh, I'm moving backwards, but what we're doing is actually we're creating this sideways movement so we can plant the roots at this new level so that we can create even more, so we can expand further. So these roadblocks, these ceilings, thresholds, whatever you want to call them, are spaces where we can recalibrate, where we can put in deeper roots so that we can grow bigger. So I actually seen this line. So at these points, it was like the roots could go deeper to grow a bigger tree, to manifest something greater, and then it'll go up again, and then maybe a little fallback, and then a sideways movement again. And that's the point where you're going to ground in these new roots, these stronger roots, these deeper roots that can take you to further and further heights. So when I say like these things that were coming up, that I was kind of blocking myself from doing this, or contacting people, or just creating the things that I like in my life, while I'm not consciously doing it, there's a reason why I'm doing that, because in our humanness, we like order, we like safety, we like knowing the known, we like knowing what's going on, we like feeling the safety of knowing where we're at, who we are. But growth dictates, if we want to grow, we have to break out of our safety zone to move on to the next level. So the ego, in its wisdom to keep you safe, so which is all the ego is just the part of you that creates through the mind, the part of you that creates the safety, the part of you, the ego is designed just for your interaction with the world, for going to a meeting at the right time, getting dressed in a certain way. It's like practical. But whenever you use the mind to create, the logical mind, it wants to keep you safe. It doesn't want to move into the unknown, because growth will mean challenge. Growth will mean new avenues. It will mean that you need to change who you are. You maybe need to question who and what you are. So using the mind to create, or the ego to create, will keep you in a box, will keep you safe. It thinks it's keeping you safe. It's not actually keeping you safe. It's keeping you stunted. It's keeping you controlled. So we have to realize that the mind will do this. And I've seen it at various occasions today and in the previous days, because I came into a kind of a lull after our workshops and retreats. I was just kind of just floating along, not doing very much. So energy wasn't flowing. While I needed to relax, I think I left it too long, so I got stagnant. So that flat line was moving like this, and there was no movement up or down. But I would say there's probably a gradual movement down, because you're not moving energy, you're not flowing. There's not that same energy movement. So whenever we start to decide, okay, I want to shift, I want to change, I want to move again, I want to create energy, create new things, meet new people, new creative endeavors. Inevitably, we will hit a point where it feels like, oh, I've hit my limit now, or things are too difficult, or I don't feel safe. So all this is, if we can recognize that this is the part of the mind, the ego mind, doing what it does. It's not the enemy as well. It's not something that you want to, a lot of teachings, they want to murder the ego and get rid of the ego. All what you want to do is just not attach to the ego and not believe that what it shares with you is true, because it can only see from a limited point of view with the mind, whereas your creation comes from the eternal you, from the heart, from the part of you that knows and sees and feels all. So the mind will want to keep you safe. The mind will want to keep you in that bubble where it knows that place, and it's how it's designed. It's not the enemy, as I say. But whenever you see that, you feel that, as I say, this camera, lots of things are happening today. I could have just said, no, I'm not going to do this. But I decided, no, I'm going to see that this is the mind just trying to keep me in my safe, comfortable bubble where I am just relaxing at home and not doing very much, and not making things happen, and there's not much excitement in my life. There's not much flow. Although I was doing amazing things and lots of powerful inner work, I need expression, I need movement, I need to interact with people, I need to do these videos, these types of things, and sharing what's within me, because if I don't, it gets stagnant, and it actually literally affects my health at times. Now, when I don't do these videos or I don't express in some way, I feel a blockage here, and it happens, like I get blocked up, and it's shown me very viscerally and real, clear signs that I need to express myself in a way. So if you have found yourself at a roadblock or a plateau, in whatever journey you are going through, just look at the ways in which you could see that it's potentially just your mind or your ego wanting to keep you safe, wanting to keep you from moving beyond your boundaries because it thinks it's scary, because it's unknown. But everything that is worthwhile achieving, everything that is life affirming, that opens you up, that takes you to the new level, will be a little bit challenging, will be a little bit scary, will take you out of your comfort zone. The mind, the ego, is designed to keep you in this logical, linear, safe space. But when you want to really create something, you need to move beyond that. And so looking at these blocks or thresholds as a platform where there will be some sideways movement for some time, but what you're doing is planting roots, planting seeds to go deeper, because you've moved up, you maybe come back a bit, you're sideways for a little bit, but then you're going to plant more stronger roots, really strong seeds, so that you can move even higher, because we need that grounding, we need the roots, we need these deep roots so that we can move further. So hi, I was going to say good morning. I'm used to doing this in the morning. Hi, Anna. Gratitude. Namaste to you. Hope you're doing well in the UK. So yeah, look at the ways in which these blocks, these apparent blocks, a lot of times they'll present as something outside of your control, someone else, or technology, or something else, or a government, or the weather, or your age, or all of these things will come up with the ego will come up with so many different ways that will say, I can't do it, or I'm afraid, or it's just not for me, or it's not the right time, or all of these things. The mind will come up with all these so many different things, and if we listen to it, we will stay safe, but we'll also it's safe in its mind, but will also stay stuck, will stay stagnant, will not be moving, will not be growing, will not be expanding. So we do have to push beyond some boundaries and open ourselves up and look at ways in which we can do that. So today, the very simple thing that I did today was, when all of these things were going on with the camera, with the laptop, with the time, with I need to eat, all of these reasons why I shouldn't do this, I just decided I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care what happens, I'm going to do it anyway. So it was literally the most simple decision, or the simple method of getting over one of these blocks is, and it's one of our teachers, amazing teacher, I always talk about, Derek Rydell. He says, so like, feel the fear, feel the doubts, feel whatever it is, and do it anyway. Just do it. It doesn't matter how you feel it's going to be received, or it doesn't matter. If you don't feel like it, just do it anyway. If you know this is something for your highest good, or for the highest good of another, just do it anyway. So that's the most simple one. So I haven't always been able to do that in my life, so I can't say that that's the one that I've always used, but it is something that's very simple. Sometimes the most simple things is what we need. It's just do it anyway. It doesn't matter if it's scary. It doesn't matter if you think you're going to fail, because you will numerous times, and that's how we learn, that's how we grow. So it's just pushing through those. So other ways in which you can move through these blocks is by identifying them. What is the cause of them? Are they really something, is it something very tangible and real that is stopping you and blocking you from? So identifying it by getting a pen and piece of paper and asking yourself the questions. What reasons, let's say this journey, it's a spiritual journey, or it could be a physical or relationship, or around a job. So you write down, what are the things that are stopping me? What could stop me from moving on, growing in this venture, in this journey. And look, whenever you've written down those things, how many of those things are actual, tangible, real things that are truth, and how many of them are judgments or beliefs or just fears that you have in your mind. It's thoughts that you just can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I am afraid of failure. All of those things they're not tangible, they're not real. If there was something very, very real, like it's just completely outside of the realm of your experience, like me becoming the president of the United States is not really in this realm of experience. If it's something like that is actually truly real, or you have a very strong physical impairment that would stop you from doing the things that you think that you want to do, then that's different. But look and identify what is blocking you, and ask yourself the question, what would stop me from doing what I want? What would stop me from getting these things that I want? And then once you've identified those, if they are thoughts and beliefs and fears, then it's something that you can look at to, okay, identify them and then work on them to release them. And really, by shining your light of awareness on something, you instantly transcend it because you see it for what it is. If it's a belief, maybe you'll have to do some work with if it's a deeply held belief, you may have to find a situation or find where that belief came from and why you've been holding on to it, because you will hold on to these beliefs because they serve you in some way. You may have to identify that way by working with someone or doing it on your own. But if there are not real and tangible ways that are holding you back, then there is nothing holding you back. So that's one very good way of doing it. The other thing that you can do is mirroring or looking at people who, let's say it's part of your journey and you see someone who has already achieved or is achieving that aim that you're going for, and look and see what they did, see how they are being, see what they do, do they talk about their challenges and how they overcame them, because it's a very good sign if someone that is doing that. Anyone that says that they don't have challenges is usually lying. So look at people that have gone before you, because that's what we're all here for. We are all one consciousness, but each of us take different paths, so we can chart the path so that others that want to come the same way as us, they don't necessarily have to make the same mistakes. So we can look at others who have done or achieved or moved in the direction that we want, see what they did, and then follow their guidance, ask them for help. If they're not accessible directly, study them, read them, watch videos on them, see what they did and see how they overcame the challenges. Because everyone has the same challenges. We separate ourselves too much from people and feel like people are on pedestals and hierarchies and these types of things. But everyone, regardless of circumstance, goes through the same challenges to some degree. There'll be various levels of those challenges, but everyone reaches them, everyone hits them, everyone hits those plateaus. But the people that move beyond that and grow the roots, the deep roots, and move on to the next level are the people that really, really find a way to transcend those limitations. They see that maybe it's a negative belief, maybe it's just some fear, maybe it's the ego trying to keep me safe, whatever it is, they find that out, and then either they do it anyway, or they find a way to release that belief or move beyond that belief, or use that belief to flip it to the other way, and know that they can get beyond that. So I feel like those are some good techniques. Every time I do these videos, some stuff comes through that I think I should be doing this myself. So everything that I share here is for me and for you, for whoever watches this video now, live or in the future. As I say, I am a work in progress continuously. I always have beginner's mind. I always approach life as an adventure to be learned. And it's not a problem to be solved. It's something that we need to grow. We don't need to. It's something that we are invited to grow into. We're invited to explore. It's not a problem to be solved. It's something to be discovered. It's something to move through. And through the beauty of the internet and through all of our communication methods, we can find out. We can learn anything. The access to information now is just phenomenal. So anything that you want to learn or search or you can get the basics of information on anything, and ultimately the answers to everything are within here. The answer is you. You are the answer. You don't necessarily need anyone external to you to give you an answer of how to get through a block or how to move on in your life. But a lot of times we like this interaction. We channel the information from our higher self through another, or through a book, or through a poem, or through a song, whatever it is. We will receive the information, but we can block this information, and we can stay stagnant. We can just find ourselves in that flat line. And that's where I feel like I've been a little bit, and I'm breaking out of it now, and I'm going to carry on regardless and just do it and get going again. So if anyone who is watching live has any questions or would like to share any experiences on blockages, or I would love questions. If anyone has any questions, please ask, because as some of you may know, I have been, for some time, I've been channeling energy, channeling information, channeling knowledge and wisdom. And how this information comes through is through questions. It needs to be drawn through in a question. And if someone is not asking a question, then we can't expand. So if a question is asked, then that is a drawn of the energy. So you may ask a question, I may know nothing about it, but I may be able to draw that energy, allow myself to be just a channel or a portal for that energy to come through. So if anyone would like to ask any questions, please just type it in the box, and I will do my best to answer, see how it goes. Yeah, this channeling journey, I have had huge roadblocks, ceilings, fears, blockages in this all the way from the start. Now, this is probably the best example of these things, because I very much blocked this for a long time because of cultural conditioning, because of some fears, because of some doubts. There were lots of things because of just doubting, maybe thinking, what would people think about me? What would a lot of fears. And I hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock on this journey, and that was and that's a continuing journey, because there's so much more that can come through me that I have not fully allowed, because I'm still on this journey of subtracting, of letting go, of dropping the fears. And there is so much wisdom and knowledge that can come through from higher sources, from advanced beings, really, that are beyond all of our limitations, that are perceived limitations, is how they talk about it, is that they're self-created and they're only perceived limitations. They aren't ultimately true or real. They are just because we came here into these physical bodies to experience everything, to experience growth and evolution and movement and overcoming challenges. That's what we love. We love to overcome challenges. And I think this is one of my I've had guidance on this as well, is where one of my things around my journey is that I want to overcome the most difficult challenges. There could be 3 ways to go this road, and one is pretty much straight. They'll have some challenges, but it's okay. The other one's kind of halfway in the middle, some challenges, a up and down. And then the third one is just like, you have to go through all the toughest lessons. And guides have actually kind of joked and poked some fun at me that I, as a soul, want to choose like the most difficult lessons. So like my early life, I chose a lot of things that took me away from who and what I am. But I wanted to overcome them. But I feel like this is something that doesn't have to be the path for everyone. For sure, it definitely doesn't have to be the path for everyone. Now the energies are much more conducive to really a life of ease and grace, and creation can happen much more easily and flowing through us, because the energies are so much heightened. Our bodies are lightened a lot more. We're in a new part of the cosmos, and Earth has awakened, and we are awakening with her. So we don't necessarily have to go through these karmic cycles and these painful lessons, but apparently my soul wants to go through difficult lessons and overcome challenges and feel the accomplishment and feel the sense of achievement, the sense of, yes, I went through that, I learned that, and I overcame that. So that's personally for me, but I feel like it doesn't need to be that way so much. It can be, life was meant to be exciting. Life was meant to be a fun journey. It was meant to be something that we explore, expand into, something that we journey through, up and down and in and out. And it's not going to be always like plain sailing like this, because that would be boring. It would be boring. There would be no experience. If where we come from, of like unconditional love, of oneness, there's no experience. You can't experience up and down and hot and cold and in and out and all of these sensual experiences that we can have in a physical body. We can't have that when we're on that we're in like a non-physical or wholeness, oneness state. So we should appreciate those things and know that we chose to come here into these physical bodies to experience life in all its wonder and all its glory and all its challenges. So that's what I need to remind myself of today, and I will continue to do so. So if there are any questions, I'd love to hear any questions on any subject, or if you would like to ask about the kind of roadblocks or ceilings or thresholds in life's relationships or abundance, anything like that, I would love for your questions to draw this energy and see what comes through. Otherwise, I think I will put it on hold until next time. But always you can ask questions in private as well. I really am going to begin now, because this energy when I'm channeling is drawn through much more easily when there's a question. Up until now, because I've kind of not expanded as far as I could, the questions have generally come from myself. And when you're asking a question of yourself, and you receive the answer, generally there's not much more that you can do, although there's always questions, but there's so much more interaction and movement when someone else asks a question, because there's like such a unique point of view, different way of looking at things, different life experience. So drawing of questions will draw new information that if I was just questioning myself, would not necessarily have access to. But all the information is there. It needs that question to draw through. So I don't think that anyone has any questions today. So everyone is fully enlightened and done. So that's good. But as I say, if you want to ask me any questions in private that I can do videos on or even channeling on, I would, appreciate them. So I think I will wrap it up there. You can visit our website, activatebreathwork.com, if you're interested in working with me. I am transformational coach, intuitive channel, and breath worker, based in Portugal here, in the Algarve. And if you would like to work with me, you can check out our website there, see lots of testimonials, videos, lots of free stuff that you can download. And I do Skype sessions of breathwork coaching. I'm going to be doing channeling for private individuals as well. So that's the step, taking me out of my comfort zone on that one a little bit. I have done this, but just for small groups of people and people that I know very well, but I am going to open that up now. And the coaching around just like life transformation and moving beyond your limitations, like we talked about today, around spiritual journey, physical health, abundance, all of those things that we all are dealing with as this human experience on a daily life. So connect with me there. You can email me at martin@activatebreathwork.com. You can check out the website there. And I look forward to connecting with all of you soon on here. I'm going to continue with these live videos and see where it takes us. So on to the next level. So until next time, from my heart to yours, namaste and goodbye.